How about some Commanders Lions, Ziggy? As we pump out this Lions content, Lions fans are finally getting on us. Like, all right, where have you been all season?
We put out a Lions breakout almost every week.
We had a lot of Lions breakouts, but you know what? When we have the amount of Packer content coming out, I understand why Lions fans are like, hey, you've ignored us all year. You're hopping on now. Like, yeah, hell yeah, hopping on now. You got no one else left. Like, the Lions look awesome. So, Lions Commanders. The Commanders, there's one glaring weakness in this game to be exploited. It's the Commanders' rushing defense, which has allowed 137.5 rushing yards per game this year. It was 30th in the NFL. That's what everybody's going to be talking about. Any analyst is going to be talking about that. We're not analysts. We don't give like we could talk a little bit about stats and stuff, but this is more of a storyline show. Well, Ziggy's more of an analyst guy, but this is more of a story, at least for me and Jack, storylines. But if we're going to dive into the numbers, that's the one to pay attention to. The Commanders' defense wasn't that bad, though, against Tampa last week with Bucky Irving. Only 101.
Bucky Irving's no slouch.
Bucky Irving's good. 101 yards allowed last week. However, I think Jahmyr Gibbs, the return of David Montgomery, and this Lions offensive line present another issue. So when I look at this game, Ziggy, my initial thought is, glaring weakness for the Commanders versus a glaring strength of the Lions. And on top of that, you just have a Detroit team that's pretty much better across the board. So do you see, where do you see the room for Washington to pull off this upset? Because everything screams Detroit should win this game handily.
Here is what it is. We've seen the formula for beating this Lions team when the run game is clicking. It is not stopping the run game. Look, when the Lions offense is on, you can say the Commanders have a weakness on their run defense, and that's true. You can have the best run defense in the NFL. When the Lions are on offense, they are going to score. There's nothing you can do about it. The thing that makes the Commanders different, and I think gives them any chance in this game, is that they don't need the defense to win them the game. It can be the Jayden Daniels show. Now, when you talk about teams that are willing to be aggressive, that are willing to play hard to win when they have to, the Commanders were about as aggressive on fourth down as the Lions this year. The Lions went for it 22 times. The Commanders went for it 20 times. They converted about the same number of times. Dan Quinn has trained this team to be aggressive, and that is a huge asset in this game. You've got a rookie quarterback that's completed a larger percent of his passes than any other rookie quarterback. He just came off a great game-winning drive. He can run. He can pass the ball. You've got guys who are hungry like Terry McLaurin. Look, the Commanders deserve to be dogs. They deserve to be sizable dogs. There's a reason they're 8.5, 9.5 point dogs.
Yeah, I think it's going up to 9.5 now.
Yeah, the Lions are an incredible team, but the Commanders can at least play the way they have to win, which is be incredibly aggressive on offense and just hope you can get a stop or two on defense.
It is unbelievable how when the Lions get going, they feel impossible to stop. But when I look at the path, I'm with you. It's Jayden Daniels just having an unbelievable game. Remember, we talked about this the other day. Remember the Bengals game, Monday Night Football, the first time we did Jayden Daniels content on this show? You're sitting back watching that and you go, holy crap, that's a rookie. Wow. He just has the wow factor. There are only a handful of quarterbacks in the league that the ceiling of Jayden Daniels doesn't match right now. And if he just gets hot, they have enough weapons to keep up with Detroit. It's going to take a Herculean effort, especially, but part of it is that he's so young and so new to all this that it could be a little bit of that Bengals in 2021 factor of, hey, screw it. Let's go out here. Let's just win this damn game. I don't know any better. I haven't been here before. I'm just playing football. And Jayden Daniels just playing football is probably the best way the Commanders can hang in this game. And Terry McLaurin's having the best season, one of the best seasons of his entire career. I'm really excited to watch this one. It should be a comfortable Lions win, but there's just been this stubbornness about the Commanders all year. They were fading towards the middle, I'd say 70% of the way into the season. They were starting to fade a bit. And all of a sudden, Jalen Hurts got injured in that game against them. They beat the Eagles, and next thing you know, you look up, they're 12-5, and that's a pretty damn good record. Dan Quinn's done a great job. Jayden Daniels is having arguably, is this a better rookie season than Stroud, you think?
I think definitely.
And we were talking about Stroud last year as having the greatest rookie season ever, possibly, for a quarterback. So when you combine all these factors, it's like, all right, it's unlikely, but you have a guy that can do things other quarterbacks cannot. And when we just did our quarterback ranking, I was really close to putting him above Jared Goff for one game. I think I trust Jared Goff more to play at a high level, but the ceiling of Jayden Daniels is higher than the ceiling of Jared Goff as an individual quarterback. The Lions fans are going to get mad that I said that.
Look, you said we run a storyline show. It's our job to talk about the storylines. Let's get real about this game. The left side of the Commanders' offensive line is putrid. They've given up the 7th most sacks in the NFL. Jayden Daniels is a great player. There's no doubt about it. Terry McLaurin's a great player. But the Lions' offense is just dramatically better. Right? You look at this Commanders' backfield. They've got like the great value version of the Lions with Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler. I'm sorry, I'm taking David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. You could have half how good they are at football. I'm still taking the Commanders, or I'm still taking the Lions offense there.
That's awesome.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Terry McLaurin's great. He's not as good as Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jared Goff, we've talked about it. He's an incredibly effective quarterback. And the Lions defense keeps getting guys back. Terry and Arnold, it looks like he's going to be able to play this game. That's a huge addition. Their defense was able to get it done against the Vikings, who had a hot offense with a hot quarterback. I think this is going to be a slaughter. It's good that we're talking about this game. I like the Commanders. They've had a great year. I think this is going to look a whole lot like CJ Stroud last year. You have a great game against a mediocre team. Nice job. You can feel good about yourself. Then you go and play the big boys and get demolished and think, how are we going to get it done next year?
I think this is going to be like the Bucs game last year, the playoff game against the Bucs, where Detroit was in a comfortable spot most of the game. Late, the Buccaneers had a chance. I think they had the ball down 8 with a chance to tie it. And it never really felt, did they get the ball back? I can't remember. But it was a game. Like you were always watching. You didn't turn it off, but you never really felt like the Buccaneers were going to win. And that's kind of how I see this going. I don't think the Lions are going to go in there and just blast the Commanders. Like it's possible. I mean, they've been doing that to teams all year. But I don't think I don't think Lions fans are going to, in Ford Field, are going to be on the edge of their seat. Tom Monroe will not be sweating this one out in the final minute.
Well, do you know what the last team the Commanders beat in the playoffs was back in 1991?
In 1991?
Yeah.
Was that the Super Bowl?
That's when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they beat the Buffalo Bills. To get to the Super Bowl, they beat the Detroit Lions. That was the last team in the NFC they beaten in the playoffs before this year was the Detroit Lions. So expect to see a little Commanders-Lions 1990s rivalry revived.
I bet you they show that game. 100% they're going to show that game.
It's guaranteed.
At some point. But you're totally right. The Lions are just better than Washington. It would take the Herculean effort from Jayden Daniels. And now, let me tell you, if Jayden Daniels goes into Detroit and beats the Lions, the media storm around him is going to be unbelievable over the next week and a half. I'm really excited for the game. Again, should be a comfortable Lions win, but there's a chance. There's always a chance.